the first episode of the Library Podcast. I can't remember what the name was. We changed the name. I think
you
it
were
was.
asking the wrong person.
Oh, what was the name? It's
I'm
gonna
still
be. It's
catching
gonna
up
be.
with
It's,
everything.
it's gonna be in the intro. We got an intro now. But I am today joined with my guest host,
Natalie Edwards.
Natalie Edwards.
I am the online undergraduate librarian here at Middle Georgia State University. I'm mainly located on the Macon campus, but I can travel and I can meet you in cyberspace, I guess, or online.
And we are joined today with our very first episode. I'm blanking on how to pronounce your last name. Kimberly
Lineberger.
Lineberger.
Yeah.
Okay. And you are who?
I am the Director of First Year Experience here at MGA. I'm located on the Macon campus in the Education Building.
Okay. Do you travel between campuses, or
I do travel for different events, but I don't have like a location on each campus, not currently.
Okay.
And you've been doing a lot with FYE for as long as I've known you, not specifically first year experience, but we first started working together on Area B stuff.
Yes, we did.
Which is now Area I?
Area I, yes.
Yes.
So I actually, when I first came to Middle Georgia after being gone from here for about 10 years, I came back as the online academic program coordinator for the School of Health and Natural Sciences, and the associate dean of the school was also heavily involved in the Area B, now Area I coursework, and so I helped out with some of that work. So I helped with adding announcements to the classes in the first iteration of that. I'm no longer actively participating in that Area I work, but that's where I did start off there for a little bit when I first got here before assuming this current role as the director.
Could you explain what Area B and Area I were?
Sure. So the core curriculum is broken up into several different areas, and prior to the recent change, before it became core impacts, Area B was the institutional options. It's still currently the institutional options for the core. So core impacts stands for the first letter stands for institutional options, and that's where we have our perspectives courses. So if when a student's taking a class that has a perspectives of or perspectives on, that's going to probably be an Area I course.
Okay. What is first year experience?
So our first year experience program here is a co-curricular program. It is designed to help foster personal and academic growth, as well as helping students overcome barriers to success, help them develop skills that will help them navigate college life, and also encourage them to be engaged in the community and the campus.
Okay.
And we also are currently part of a larger initiative called the Light Your Path initiative, which is a coordinated effort between the offices or departments of academic advising, career and leadership development, student success, and first year experience, specifically the Knights Academy.
Okay. Is this a new thing?
The Light Your Path program is new for the fall. So we are launching it this fall. We'll be putting up signs and flyers and things across all the campuses. But what it is really is just a way to kind of package what we think all first year students should be doing. So it's things like getting them to think about being a little bit more future forward, thinking about what they're going to do each semester, making sure they're meeting with an academic advisor, making sure that they are talking to faculty during office hours. We want to encourage them to get to participate in the different programs that we offer. So we want students to maximize their experience in the first year. And so we provided just a checklist of things that they should be working on or doing throughout this first year. So that's really what it's all about.
And yeah, it looks like you've broken it up by months. You've got 4 months. Now, I will say month 1 looks intimidating because there are a lot of check boxes there. But when you read it, it's smaller things like you say, attend office hours. You don't have to attend every office hour, but just be aware of them and all of the resources that you have available as a student.
Right, exactly. And that's what it does look daunting when you look at that first month, but it's things that you should be doing, like studying. So some of the common sense things, but instead of just saying these things, we packaged it in a way that students can access it easily.
Yeah, especially with meeting with your academic success coach, because I think that was a really great addition that we had to MGA, was that to kind of help push students forward in their future success and in their success at MGA.
Right, and I think it's probably a good time to kind of talk about like the differences between those different resources. So like an academic advisor primarily is going to be the one helping with registration. They're going to be the one who helps with the degree plan to help a student figure out like what classes they need to take for their major. The academic success coach is a little bit of a different role. Their role is more about helping the student with the skills that they need to do well in their classes.
Yeah.
And so that's more of that role. So if a student wants additional help on like I don't really know how to study for something, or I don't know how to read a textbook, things like that would be where an academic success coach can help. And then we also encourage students to get a peer mentor. So a peer mentor is also a student. So they're going through the very same things, or they've gone through the same things. And so they have a little bit of a different perspective than someone who may have been, who's more a professional success coach, who is maybe far removed from the last time they were in college.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
No, I will say that I do wish I had this when I was a college student, because I didn't have anybody going over what my graduation requirements were. So when we got to those last 2 semesters of college, it was like, oh, I have all these blanks I need to fill, and I've got 2 semesters to fill in with these weird electives and stuff. But having someone to do that, especially with studying too, it's just really, it sounds scary to put yourself out there and ask for these resources. But I do think that these are a great way to really help with the success in college.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely. I also kind of wish I had the same thing when I was in college. We didn't have like a professional advising staff where I went to college about 20 years ago. And so I didn't have things like my degree to help me figure out. I just I had the hard copy catalog, and I probably still have it. And I remember, and this is probably why I was always destined to be in higher ed and I started off as an academic advisor when I first worked at MGA. But I actually read through the catalog for the most part, not everything, but like the important policies, and then I read through my program of study, and then I put together my own little like chart. Like no one provided me a chart for how to finish and take these courses. I looked up all the prerequisites, and it wasn't until my senior year that I actually needed my advisor at the time to help me with figuring out how do I take this course that I was looking for. Like it was a class that I knew I needed for the professional writing concentration I was in, and it was never offered. As soon as I had the prerequisite for it, I was looking for it, and I couldn't find it, and it never was offered. So he had to help me find a course substitution to get that done. But we had that working relationship where every semester I brought him what I wanted to take, and he was just like, by the 3rd or 4th time we met, he was like, well, what are you taking next semester? And I would have the list for him. So I was just very methodical like that.
So, from what you're saying, these aren't really courses; they're more community engagements.
Yeah, so they are not part of like a first year experience class. This is more going to be outside the classroom kind of activities. Okay. And so most of the FYE content is going to be delivered directly to students' inboxes, so they need to check their emails regularly. And so there's the Knights Academy stuff that will teach them things like how to identify or how to figure out their identity and purpose. There's going to be some content on learning science, like how to best study for things. And also we go over motivation, resilience, just to name a few that we're going to cover. And so it'll go directly to the student's inbox, and they'll have the opportunity to complete that at their leisure. And also, I plan to have some in-person sessions and some things like that to kind of deepen those kinds of conversations.
Is there a D2L component as well? Like
not currently. It's gonna be delivered directly through email.
Okay. So you mentioned resources. Well, resources that are spread through different departments. How can they locate these departments and resources?
So I always encourage students to get familiar with like the MGA website and be really comfortable with like just using the search bar to search for different things. If they don't know or can't find something, I would encourage them to ask like their academic advisor, because they're going to be assigned to one. They can ask a success coach. They're welcome to reach out to me even through email, or my office is pretty much always open, so they're welcome to stop by there too. So. But primarily the website's going to be the main thing, and we're going to be sending off communications throughout the semester via email. There may be some announcements in certain classes that will kind of let students know where these resources are, but they're out there. And if, like I said, but the best thing to do is just to ask if you're not sure if we offer something.
Okay. Do you have any advice for first-time students?
Absolutely, yeah. So what I would tell any student, first time or not, is that you get your college experience is what you make of it. It's whatever you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. And so you can be the student who just comes to class, does their work, and goes home and doesn't do anything else. Or you can be the student that comes to class maybe a little bit early, takes a little bit of time to walk around a little bit, pay attention to like the walls and pay attention to like bulletin boards and signs and see where they can get involved and engaged in things, see where they can meet other people. I always encourage students to also look to people as resources, because in every class you want to have somebody else that you can connect with, so that if you have to miss a class for some reason, you can get in touch with them. I encourage students to walk through buildings when it's hot outside or when they're in a hurry to get that blast of cold air. But take some time to walk outside when the weather is nice and kind of enjoy the campus, because this is really kind of a hidden gem. I grew up in Warner Robins, and so, been really close to the Macon campus at least. And I hadn't ever really stepped on the campus until I was much older. I just never visited or anything like that. I saw the sign on the highway all the time, but just never thought to actually, actually go to the campus. And the Concord campus is beautiful. I've been to Dublin. I mean, all the campuses are really nice. Yeah. So, and there's plenty of beauty to find all of them.
Are there any ways that the library could be of assistance in FYE?
Sure. Yeah, I would love to partner up with the library to figure out how to create additional resources and get those, and figure out creative ways to disseminate those resources. So I know there's a lot of work that the library does that can certainly help out with that.
Yeah, we're going to be working on that together.
Yes, we are. We are.
And I've already got ideas from this conversation.
Awesome. I welcome them. So I definitely can use all the ideas we can get, and happy to always collaborate and figure out different ways we can serve our students, because that's really the goal.
Yeah, and you tell students similar to what I tell them, which is make your tuition money work for you.
Exactly.
All of this is for you, is to help push you forward, help you graduate. We're always happy to help you with any weird questions you have. Nothing is too weird. We can help you. We don't bite. We're paid for this.
Yeah. I kind of think of it like a gym membership.
Yes.
Right? Like if you right now I'm donating my gym membership every month. So just like a gym membership, you got to show up and you've got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. You're paying for it. Use it some.
The other pieces of I have a lot of advice. The other things I would say is I always encourage students to think about their classes like they're playing Jeopardy, right? I love Jeopardy, and I would love to be on the show. I take the test like every year, and I still haven't gotten on. But I always encourage students to don't blow it on the easy stuff. Like get good, get the hundreds where you can get the hundreds on things, and so that you have less to worry about when it comes to like these larger projects.
Yes.
Get to the place where you've done so well on the things that are a little bit easier, that you can afford a little bit of mistakes or slipping up on the end part.
Don't shirk the discussion post.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ask your professors for help. Ask your librarians for help. We can help you keep those easy citation points and those easy research points. Ask your tutors for help.
Yeah. We have there's lots of resources here to help students be successful, so they just have to take that step to go out there. And I know it can be hard. Like not everyone feels like they can just ask for help, and it kind of sometimes makes you feel like you're not meant to be here, but it's perfectly okay. We all have to ask for help from time to time, and I've definitely had to ask for help and resources when I was in college as well. So.
Okay. Well, we're at the 15-minute mark, and episodes are typically going to be 30 minutes, so probably take the next 5 minutes. Give a little biography of yourself. I'm originally a Warner Robins native. I grew up in Warner Robins. Went to elementary school through high school there, and then I left for college and went to Valdosta State University, where I got my bachelor's degree in English with a concentration in professional writing and a minor in communication. Then I went on to the University of Louisiana at Lafayette to work on a master's in mass communication, but I ultimately didn't finish it there. I'm all but thesis, so I finished everything. I finished all the coursework. I have a 4.0 there, but I just didn't I couldn't finish my thesis. A lot of things happened. I moved back to Georgia, but I did eventually complete a master's in public administration at Georgia College and State University. Actually, I did that while I was an academic advisor. So I did that while I was working here, and then from there I went on to work at another university system school, and I was there for about 10 years in various roles before eventually making my way back. So.
Okay. Oh, that was short.
Short.
Well, I guess we could go to our final bit where you can ask the host any question. It could be anything. It could be academic related. It could be, I would like you to hear a funny story because I have a lot of funny stories that I can tell. But it needs to be politically neutral.
Obviously,
such,
yes,
you know.
yes.
And actually, you can ask multiple questions. We got 16 minutes on it.
Well, let me share a personal story then. I'll share a couple personal stories that you can mix in here. So, going back to like talking to faculty and getting to know them, like it's not just for when you're struggling with the class. Like it can be just about for anything. It's especially important when you get closer to graduation and you're in your major field. So one of the things that I had the opportunity to do is when I was a English major, I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do. Like everyone kept asking me, what were you going to teach? I was like, no, I don't think so. I wasn't in the teaching track. I was in the professional writing track, which I thought had a little bit more flexibility and things like that. So I mentioned to one of my professors just in passing that I was interested in maybe pursuing like a career in publishing. Like I wanted to be like a literary agent, or I wanted to be an editor or something along those lines. And she said, well, I have a textbook editor or somebody from the publishing world like coming to see me to talk about a book I'm working on. If she has time, would you like to meet with her? And I was like, yeah, I'd love that. And so I did get to meet with someone from the publishing world who kind of told me a little bit about it. She gave me some, probably one of the best pieces of advice anyone gave me was that, you think that your path is going to be linear and that you're going to get into a job and you're going to stay there forever and that's what you're going to do for the rest of your life. But really, you'll take on a lot of different jobs, and it's all about figuring out how you move the skills you learn from one job to the other to another. And so that kind of gave me a lot of peace. Like I don't have to know as soon as I graduate, like what am I going to do, and what it's going to affect the rest of my life. And it doesn't. Like I've worked in a lot of different random things. I was in banking for a little while. I did testing. I did academic advising, and and then that's kind of where I stayed. That's my sweet spot. But yeah, so that was a really good experience. And I wouldn't have had that opportunity had I not just kind of had this random communication with my communications professor at the time. So,
and also building relationships with your professor actually will help you in the long run, especially if you decide to go back. If you want to go back to school, if you want to go to grad school, a lot of them ask for something from previous professors. And if you have that relationship, then asking for them for that is going to be a whole lot easier. And also they're going to know you, so they can really give a good profile to wherever you're applying.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Like I think that's one of the hardest things is when students would ask for a recommendation and I'd be like, I don't know if I can give a very good one for you. And so that's the other reason why building those connections and having visiting office hours and just kind of making yourself known is a really important skill and something.
When I was asking for recommendations for Valdosta, I was like, if I ask this professor, the worst thing he could say is, "Who are you?"
That was also my biggest fear when asking for my professors for when I got my Master's of Library and Information Science from Valdosta. It was like, okay, which professors know me the best and can give the best profile of me? Okay, let me think back. Okay, Dr. Skidmore Hess.
Oh my goodness.
So do you like to read?
I do like to read.
More questions.
I do like to read.
What do you like to read?
I read a smattering of things. I'm in the middle of a lot of different books right now. I've never read Harry Potter, so I'm actually on Goblet of Fire right now. I keep borrowing it from the MGA library and keeping it forever, and then returning it and then borrowing it again a few weeks later. So I'm probably gonna go borrow it while I'm here.
I've only watched the movies.
The books have way more depth.
They do have a lot more information than the movies.
But Goblet of Fire is my favorite one.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. It's got the dragon in it. You put a dragon in it, I'm gonna watch it.
So it was an interesting take on mermaids.
It was an interesting take on mermaids.
Okay, I don't remember it that well, so.
Won't spoil it.
Okay, thanks.
Maybe
thanks,
that was
thanks.
just the movie interpretation. Of
Could
it. I
be.
can't remember the book descriptions.
So I'm trying to work through that. Like that's my goal. I'm working through that series, but I also read a good bit of nonfiction. I'm reading Amy Tan's journals on birds. Like apparently she also would draw birds. She's one of my favorite authors, and she would sketch birds and post them to like her social media. And I used to watch that. Now she has a book out with all the all the birds. Yeah,
I know
Yeah.
her mainly from the Joy Luck Club.
Yes.
I love that movie growing up,
Yes.
and I just recently rewatched it. Still holds up.
It's so
the
good.
book is so much better.
Now I don't know if I ever read all of the book. I read bits and pieces of the book, but yeah, I do like that. Like my culturally, I'm half Vietnamese, so not Chinese, but like there's some similarities there, and so it was really good to see that kind of representation when I was growing up. So.
Yeah, it's a great book. Yeah, I totally read it.
Don't be the book club guy that didn't actually read the book. Well, what are you guys reading? Are you guys reading anything interesting?
I am currently reading Treachery of Swans, which is an interesting take on the Swan Princess. I'm only a couple of chapters in, so it's kind of, I don't get to read as much as I used to with the baby. But I'm slogging through it slowly when I find time. What about you?
I listen to audiobooks because I have ADHD, so like if I read a paragraph, I reread it 50 times, which was great when I was getting my history degree because I knew what I was reading.
Right.
But I'm like, I don't want to read the same scene twice, but also when I'm listening to something, I can still work on something else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My ADHD, it's weird. But I'm going through the Red Rising saga right now,
Okay.
which is a science fiction book where humanity has been distilled down into colors like gold, red, blue,
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
and a guy gets and like if you're a gold, you are genetically a gold, so you can't mix. There's no mixing.
Okay.
It's
Interesting.
it's a good take on how we perceive ourselves with race by adding more to it.
Okay. That's interesting.
But it's good. I'm reading another one called, I'm reading, every day I read a poem from Edgar Allan Poe's book. I have a complete collection. I'm reading a poem and then I'm reading the short stories and then I'm getting to the novel.
Very nice.
It's on my desk. It's just a book.
Yeah, he did write a good bit.
He did, yes.
I should know more, like as an English major, but
Well, you kind of get your niche, and
Yeah.
like when you figure out like what field you like, you kind of get your niche of like I like this, like I like Renaissance history.
right. Yeah, I also my focus was really more on the writing aspects of things. So I did
Yes.
more grammar and editing classes, and I did more like professional writing classes, legal writing, stuff like that. So I didn't get too deep into the literature side of things.
Yeah.
But it's good stuff.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, where I was at, we could. So you had to do the basic stuff, like you had to read. You had to do some basic literature courses. You had to do foreign language. It's kind of similar to MGA's English program as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
We're at 24 minutes. You have questions?
I do have another really cool story to share that
Okay.
I haven't shared very often. So I mentioned that I started here as a academic advisor back when it was before consolidation. So it was when it was Macon State specifically. I had a college fridge that my parents bought when I was first attending college for the residence hall. And I brought it with me to campus to share with my department, with the advising department. It was just a few of us at the time, and it was something that I left behind when I moved on to my next institution. And then when I returned here as the online academic program coordinator, about almost 10 years later, I was just snooping around the office suite that I was placed in, because I was in this office suite on the 3rd floor of Jones that no one else was in it but me. And I was snooping around just kind of seeing what else was back there. And I found it. I found my refrigerator under the desk, just kind of sitting there. And it was like, it hadn't been used in a really long time. And I'm not sure how it even got there. But I had left it here because I was like, well, I have no use for it. And they needed a refrigerator. And I was like, well, you just keep it. I'm not going to slug this thing up to where I was moving. And
And so I left it there. And just to have it back, so it's now currently in my office at in the TEB 318 is where I'm at, and it's just there. It's just this kind of a reminder of how sometimes when you put like good things into the world, they just come back to you.
Yeah.
And I love that.
You locked eyes, a meadow appeared, and you
I
just started
know.
running
Yes.
towards each other.
I know. I love it. I love
What
those stories.
brand is this refrigerator that has lasted so long?
It is. Oh, I want to say it's a Whirlpool.
Because I'm just thinking, like, these little college fridges, they don't.
Well, this was like 20 years ago, so
Maybe they were built
a little bit
different.
better. They were built a little different. They weren't built to break like everything
Yes,
is now.
yes.
So,
No plastic parts, metal
yeah,
parts.
it is metal. It is for sure metal, and not super heavy, but it does the job. It keeps all my lunch cold and keeps everything refrigerated. But
Favorite movies?
ooh. First of all, I am a film buff. I love movies. I just saw Superman. That was the last movie I saw, and it was so good. Like,
I want to see it. So
I'm not
bad.
even really a Superman fan, and I was never really a DC Comics fan. I wasn't a DC movie fan.
Yeah.
Like I was 100% MCU. And I would watch DC TV. So I was really super into the Arrowverse, but not so much the
It kind
movie
of
side.
petered off at the end.
It did. Yes, it wasn't as good as it could have been. So, but I really enjoyed Superman. That was like the most fun I'd had in a movie. I was really excited because I knew James Gunn was the director, and I know he did Guardians of the Galaxy series, which is among my favorite movies. But I was real excited to go see Superman. Like, I don't think I've had as much fun in a movie in a really long time, and I thought it was a really interesting. It just felt different from the other movies I'd seen.
Yeah.
So.
Have you seen there is a series, Superman, or is it Lois and Superman?
Lois and Clark?
No, it's,
Oh, is it different?
It's
No.
is it
Yeah.
Superman and Lois? I think it's Superman and Lois. It's on Max.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I don't think I've seen that one.
It is
No.
so good. The guy that
Yeah,
they
it was
have
part of the Arrowverse.
Okay.
So,
Okay. I
did
must have
you-
just missed that. I was mostly the CW Arrowverse. Like,
Yeah.
So I don't think I must not have.
Oh, it was
got-
on CW.
I probably just missed it. I haven't been watching a whole lot of TV.
Yeah.
Like, I'm catching up on TV right now. So.
But it's Lois and Clark, or Lois and Superman. They them in the future where they've got these two teenage boys and kind of navigating life. It's so sweet. I love it.
Yeah. No, I haven't seen it. I might give it a shot.
Did you watch the Crisis episodes? Crisis on Infinite Earths?
Yes.
So he was in that.
Okay.
Yeah, he was.
I knew Superman was in
Yeah.
it, but I didn't really watch the series.
Yeah, the one who was the one with the glasses. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
But I liked the Crisis ones. I thought those were
Okay.
good. They were pulling people. They pulled from Smallville. all
Yes.
that.
Yes. Yeah.
I liked John Cryer as Lex Luthor.
He was pretty good.
I liked Supergirl. I thought that was a good show.
Yeah. Yeah, I only watched the first season of Supergirl. I kind of fell off afterwards, and then I would only watch the crossover episodes.
Yeah.
So.
That woman was okay.
Yeah, I didn't really get into that one.
It's just-
You know. And I don't think I finished Flash either. Like, I need to finish Flash. I finished Arrow, but I haven't finished Flash, so I'm behind on.
I like Flash, but it just takes so long.
Yeah, it was just interesting how everything changed once they started Flash, because Arrow I think was originally kind of designed to be more like a realistic kind of superhero.
Oh, yeah.
It was definitely like darker and grittier and
The
meant
first
to be
episode,
like.
he kills two people. You're like, whoa.
Yeah. So and then they introduced the metahumans, and that's when things just kind of go all over the place. And I never really got into Legends either, so that.
I didn't get in Legends either.
Yeah.
Couldn't do it.
The first season, I gave it a season, and then after that, it was hard to keep up. So again, just the crossover episodes for everything.
It's my only critique from Arrow was whenever they would flash back, it felt jarring. Whenever they would like bounce back, it just felt really jarring. But other than that, good show. Felicity Smokes was probably her and Diggle were probably one of the greatest
Those are they got my favorite.
created one for a TV show. Those
Yeah,
were perfect.
I did like their characters a lot. So I love Felicity. Felicity's cool.
All right, we were at 30 minutes. How do we end this?
Thank you for joining us today. We will see the students will see you in their email
Yes.
with good first year experience advice, where you learn, investigate, grow, hustle, and thrive.
Yes, exactly.
And if you have any events that you have upcoming, we can record an episode ahead of time and they can be disseminated.
Awesome.
And you can talk about what you're going to do for it.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
All right. This has been, I can't remember the name, what we changed it to, but here's the MGA podcast. Bye.